Hello everyone, this is Arshika. In today's video, we are going to learn about C++ constructors. Constructor is a special type of member function in C++ classes which are automatically invoked whenever we create an object of that class. We know in a class we have two types of members. They are data members and member functions. So, constructor is also a type of member function. They are automatically invoked whenever we create an object of that class. Constructor is used to initialize data members of the class and also to allocate memory for data members. And what are the different types of constructors in C++? Normally we have default constructor, that is a zero argument constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. Now let's look at the properties of constructor. One property is it has the same name as the class itself, which means if a class has the name car, then the constructor would be having the name car. So, constructor has the same name as the class itself. And another property is they do not have return type, which means they don't return any values. So they don't have to mention any return type. And a constructor is automatically called when an object is created. So there is no need to explicitly invoke a constructor like a normal function. So they are automatically invoked when an object is created. And another property is if we do not specify a constructor, the C++ compiler generates a default constructor for us. And that default constructor won't have any parameters or body. This is an example of a default constructor, that is zero argument constructor. So I shall explain this example. Here we have a class and this class name is car. And this car class has two types of members, that is data member as well as member functions. And this particular class has two data members. They are kilometer and fuel. Kilometer is of type int and fuel is of type float. And in public part we have two functions. One is void display and one is car. This car function, it do not have any return type. This name is similar to the class name. So this is the constructor of this class. And this constructor has no parameters within this parenthesis, which means this is zero argument constructor, or this is called default constructor. And we have a display function here. And this display function displays the values of kilometer and fuel. That is the value of this kilometer and fuel. And like any normal function, we can specify the body of this default constructor either inside this class or outside this class. So here in this program, I'm defining the body of this constructor outside our class. See, this is the class, this is the constructor name, and since we are defining the body outside the class, we have to specify the class name as well as scope resolution operator. And within this constructor, what I'm planning to do is, I'm just initializing the value of kilometer and fuel to 0. And this happens when I create an object of this class. Let's go to the main. We have int main, and within this I have created an object Benz, and this is an object of the class car. So when I have created this object Benz, this constructor is automatically invoked and values of kilometers as well as fuel become 0. They got initialized with value 0. I haven't explicitly invoked any function like car here, but it got invoked automatically when I created this particular object Benz. And after that, I display the value of Benz. The values of kilometer and fuel. Benz.display. The display function, it displays the values of kilometer and fuel. So when calling this Benz.display, it displays the values associated with Benz object. And it returns 0. Program ends there. So this program demonstrates the concept of default constructor.